This is Why Prom Sucks for a Vigilante. Written by Meg_D_untalented. Read by Satori Reads. Summary. Izuku tries to survive Yue's prom as Shinsou's date while being a secret vigilante. Izuku really doesn't know how he keeps getting himself into these situations. The last thing he wants to do is to go to a prom, even more so a prom at UA. But Hitoshi utilized one of Izuku's worst weaknesses, the biggest, saddest cat eyes to ever exist. How could Izuku possibly resist his boyfriend's request when he does that? So now, Izuku is dressed to the nines with the choking collar, a too long tie, and slightly loose pants. Of course, he has the knife he uses for his vigilante work strapped on too, but that's more for his own peace of mind. Izuku is pacing outside of Hitoshi's apartment while waiting to go to a prom full of people who want to arrest him. Sounds like so much fun. It's not like it's Hitoshi's fault though. He's been an amazing boyfriend, and Izuku was going to tell him about his late night activities. Izuku's just been procrastinating telling him. He's scared of the reaction he'll get when he confesses. He's regretting this now, obviously. Sorry you had to wait out here, Izu, his boyfriend says while closing his door. You ready to go? Hitoshi's usually flyaway hair has been pulled back into a half-up hairdo with his bangs smothered down the side of his face. His long body is accentuated by his suit, showcasing his small waist and broad shoulders. Best of all, he has white eyeliner over his eyes, sharpening his eyes and emphasizing their purple gleam. Izuku gulps. You put on makeup? Hitoshi goes to scratch the back of his head. Yeah, I think it would look cool. Do you like it? Of course I like it. It perfectly sharpens your eyes, giving you a dangerous while alluring look. The white brings out the purple of your eyes so much that they almost glow. The shape of the eyeliner is perfect, lining the curve of your eye perfectly, but still sticking out enough at the end that you can bring it under your eye a bit, blending into your bags for a cool effect. Izuku stops rambling for a second to see a blush growing on Hitoshi's face. It infects Izuku too, and his face goes strawberry. Hitoshi's smile grows smug, and he leans in close to Izuku. So, you like my makeup, huh? Izuku flushes harder, but gathers his resolve and pouts at Hitoshi. Just for that, you're not getting a hello kiss. Suffer. He whips away from Hitoshi and turns towards the gate of UA, fake pouch twitching with the onset of a smile. Hey, no wait, why don't we talk about this? Hitoshi jogs to catch back up to Izuku, before tugging his shoulders and stealing a kiss anyway. The last of Deku's pout fades in the kiss, and they both back away smiling at each other. Hitoshi grabs Izuku's hand and turns back towards the school gate. Okay, ready? Nope, not at all, responds Izuku, shoulders stiff. That's the spirit, Hitoshi says as he leads Izuku inside the gate. The music is loud, the flashing lights are bright, the gym is hot. Izuku groans and tugs himself closer into Hitoshi, who is also sporting a deep grimace etched onto his face. Why do you hate us? Izuku asks Hitoshi. Hitoshi opens his mouth to respond before being interrupted by a girl with a brown bob and flowy pink dress. Hey Shinsou, come join us. Who's this? Hitoshi sighs, already exhausted, and introduces Izuku to the girl. Uraraka, this is my boyfriend Izuku. Izuku, this is my classmate Uraraka. Uraraka's eyes go wide. Wait, this is your boyfriend, the super smart boyfriend, the boyfriend who told you everything you know boyfriend? The mysterious fake boyfriend? Izuku's face turns crimson again, which he realizes is probably going to be a theme of the night. Fake boyfriend? Hitoshi blushes a little and shrugs. Some of them didn't believe I actually have a boyfriend. Something about me not talking to anyone, especially not someone I wasn't forced to talk to. He thinks for a moment before adding, and they didn't believe anyone could be as great as you. Izuku blushes, but crosses his arms. You act like you're not as great, if not a better boyfriend. Weren't you the one who stayed up late to talk me through my nightmare 2 days ago? We both know that I would have already been awake, and didn't you gather data on my old middle school bullies that got them expelled? Hitoshi challenges, raising an eyebrow. Izuku nods but continues. Yes, but when I got hurt by that villain who panicked and brought a huge first aid kit to me, then helped me dress my wounds, even though you had school in an hour. Izuku had actually been stabbed while out being a vigilante. Hitoshi was not thrilled when he saw the wound. Okay, but there was the time where... Uraraka shoves herself in between their banter. Okay, I get it. You both like each other very much. She turns to Izuku, slowly trying to inch away. So, how did you two meet? It's not like our resident grump here willingly chooses to talk to anyone. Izuku scratches the back of his head. Well, it was the summer before this year, and I was walking back home from working out when I heard some noises in the alleyway. I check it out and find some kids bullying Hitoshi. I scared them away, complimented his quirk, and it's just been him and me ever since. Hitoshi snorts. Scared them away? Yeah, right. More like beat the ever-loving shit out of them. They never stood a chance. Izuku lightly slaps Hitoshi's arms and scolds. Hitoshi, that's not how you make good first impressions. Uraraka giggles. No, it's fine. You sound super cool, Midoriya. She grabs his hands, and Izuku immediately shoots a look of pure terror towards Hitoshi. Come on, let me introduce you to all of our friends. Hitoshi just smirks and slowly follows as Izuku gets dragged away by Uraraka. He finds himself in a group of 3 other people, 2 boys and 1 girl. The 2 boys, however, Izuku already knows an unfortunate amount. This is Asu Itsui, my date. The guy with the red and white hair is Todoroki Shoto, and the one with the glasses is Ida Tenya. Guys, this is Midoriya Izuku. Izuku swallows heavily. He saved both of them from staying a while back. He was so panicked that he didn't realize he spoke during the fight until after it was done. What's more, half of Izuku's mask was ripped off. Good to meet you, kiddo, says the long-haired girl. Ida follows up by chopping his hand while saying, Yes, it's good to meet your acquaintance, Midoriya. Hitoshi talks about you often, and it is a pleasure to meet my friend's partner. Hitoshi groans and facepalms. Todoroki doesn't greet Izuku, he only narrows his eyes and tilts his head. Do I know you from somewhere? You seem familiar. Izuku can feel the sweat gathering above his brow. What? No, we haven't met. I would remember meeting someone like you, Todoroki. Izuku squeaks out. Todoroki narrows his eyes further, and even Hitoshi is looking at Izuku with confusion. Maybe you saved him once, Todoroki. You have saved a number of people recently during work studies. Ida chimes in. Todoroki's eyes widen, and he murmurs a soft, work studies. Haha, hey Hitoshi, do you want a drink? 'Cause I want a drink, so I'm going to get us a drink. It was great meeting you all, bye. Izuku blurts out, and then speed walks to the snack table, leaving behind a befuddled Hitoshi. Izuku breathes as he shakily pours 2 glasses of pink juice into red cups. He takes one more deep breath before he turns, ready to walk back into the fray, when he spots a spiky blonde coming straight towards the table. Izuku doesn't think Bakugo saw him yet, so he tries to stealthily slide around the group next to him. Unfortunately, Izuku is still a klutz, and his foot lands on a crumpled cup he didn't see. His feet fly from under him as his drinks go flying through the air. Izuku winces. Then he hears it, a quiet deku, coming from where Bakugo was. Izuku quickly jumps up from the floor and locks his eyes on Bakugo, preparing for the attack he knows will come. For a second, all is silent. Bakugo doesn't say anything. He isn't moving, he isn't even blinking. Then his shocked face contorts into a snarl, and he flings himself towards Izuku with his bright explosions. Little does he know, however, that Izuku has been a vigilante for months now, and has fought bigger threats than Bakugo. Izuku's reactions are of a vigilante, not of a quirkless high schooler, So when he sees Bakugo get close, he slides out of the way, grabs onto the back of the blonde snake, and steers his face straight to the floor. As soon as Bakugo's scream of frustration sounds out from underneath Izuku, he jumps up and tries to retreat. He sees a few more people had gathered around at the sight of explosions, including Todoroki and Ida. Haha, oops, I didn't, mean to do that. Reflexes, right? Crazy. Izuku quickly walks out of the group that has formed while averting eye contact. His eyes are still attached to the floor when he feels a hand grab his arm. This time, he makes sure he doesn't whip out his vigilante moves. Better late than never. He looks up to see Todoroki pulling him and Ida to a corner. He gulps. Todoroki starts Ida. This behavior is unbecoming of a UA student. Dragging fellow peers is not appropriate. Todoroki barely even glances at Ida. This is important, Ida. I may have found our vigilante. Izuku's feet stop moving, causing Todoroki to lurch. He notices his breathing gets shallow, and he feels sweat crawling down his neck to his back. He knew this was a bad idea, yet he still decided it would be a good idea to come. That it would be fine, but now 2 hero students, who are probably going to turn him in, know his identity. Oh, Kami, what is he going to do? There's the trash beach, he could probably bunk there for a while. Oh, his mom is going to be so disappointed in him. Will he even get to continue being a vigilante? What if he goes to jail? What if... Izuku grips the hand that almost fell on his shoulder. He quickly glares at the person attached. When he realizes that he's still in front of Todoroki and Ida, he releases Ida and stumbles backwards, before quickly retreating and blending in with the crowd. Izu, where did you go? Izuku relaxes when he hears Hitoshi's voice barely ring out above the pounding music. He never was able to hide from him. A surprising smile tags on Izuku's face, and he rushes over to Hitoshi. As soon as he's close, he tackles him into a hug and hides his face into his neck. "Hey, Toshi," comes the muffled reply. Hitoshi softly grins at his boyfriend. "Hey, Izuku." He brings his hand up to Izuku's smooshed face, and the boy follows the caress. "Hey, I want you to meet someone, Izu." Hitoshi starts to tell him. Izuku interrupts him with a whine. "Hitoshi, I already met so many people tonight." The purple-haired boy kisses the pout away and tells him, "This is the last one, I swear." Izuku heaves a dramatic sigh. "Fine, take me away to a mystery person." Hitoshi rolls his eyes at his boyfriend's antics and tucks Izuku away. They head toward a group of chaperones chatting in the corner. Izuku squints a little to get a closer look at their faces. Then he starts hyperventilating. Long black hair, glasses, dress with lots of skin exposed. Midnight. One of the Twilight heroes hell-bent on capturing him. Blonde hair that goes down his back. Green hair, yellow shades, a slightly offensive amount of leather. Present mic, of course. And finally the last person. Scraggly black hair, dead-looking eyes, baggy clothes, and a white scarf glowing in the black light. Eraserhead. Izuku is going to cry. Hitoshi, unaware of his partner's turmoil, calls out to Eraserhead. "Hey, Aizawa-sensei, I want you to meet someone, if you have the time." Eraserhead turns back to Hitoshi, those tired eyes passing over him, and then to Izuku. He freezes, certain that Eraserhead immediately recognizes him. This is the man who always chases Izuku through the streets. The person who has tried the most to capture him. If there was anyone who knew Izuku's vigilante counterpart, Eraser was that person. Thankfully, Eraser's eyes only scan him before refocusing on Hitoshi. Izuku lets out a soft sigh of relief. When he looks up again though, Eraser is spying him once more. He straightens up from the scrutiny. Eraser steps away from the group and responds. "Sure. Who's this, Shinsou?" Hitoshi suddenly gets shy, a blush spreading across his cheeks and a hand scratching the back of his hair, somewhat messing up the hairdo. Izuku can't help but feel endeared. "This is my boyfriend Midoriya Izuku." Eraserhead turns his eyes to Izuku once again, and Izuku doesn't know what to do or say. He sends Hitoshi a pleading glance. Hitoshi only smirks, which immediately sets off alarm bells in Izuku's head. Izu here is a big fan of you. He talks about you all the time. Eraser's eyebrows shoot up, and Izuku's face blazes an alarming red as he shakes his hands in front of him. No, you make it sound weird, Hito. I just, really admire your fighting style because you find mostly quirkless, especially against people with mutation quirks, which is really cool. And the way you use your capture scarf is awesome too. Like, who even thinks of that being a weapon? It's totally unassuming, but there still has to be some way for you to control it because there's no way a regular scarf behaves like that. So your support group must have used a metal alloy or maybe they got someone to use their quirk on it to have it obey your minute hand twitches, which would also be cool. But either way, you must have trained super hard to have that much control over it. And that's not even mentioning the fact that you have the quickest takedown rate in the underground with your surprise attacks easily taking out the key villains. And your quirk, I mean, how useful is a quirk that negates others' quirks? And it's almost a shame that you could have to stay underground because the villains that act out during the day tend to have the more dangerous quirks since they're confident enough to use them during the day with multiple heroes around. Don't get me wrong, I understand that it's super important that you're underground so you can keep the advantage of the surprise of losing your quirk, but with how efficient you are, I can't help but imagine that a lot less civilians would be hurt if you... He stops and blushes again when he realizes he just went on a full ramble mode on his favorite hero/enemy. He shoves Hitoshi, who's snickering beside him. Why didn't you snap me out of it? He hisses to his boyfriend. Your face is too funny when you realize you've been rambling. Hitoshi wheezes. Izuku glares at Hitoshi, before remembering Eraserhead is still there. And watching, and listening. His blush returns full force. Sorry, Mr. Eraserhead. I tend to ramble if someone... He glares at Hitoshi again. Doesn't stop me. Hitoshi only shoots him a cocky grin. It's fine, you had some interesting perspectives. Eraserhead seems to analyze Izuku once again. Most people barely know me at all, nonetheless all the information you seem to have. He left the statement hanging. So, of course Izuku had to respond. I'm just a big fan, like Hitoshi said, and it's not only you. I know, about a bunch of heroes. Ah, that sounds even worse. Izuku cringes, and Hitoshi hides his very obvious laughter as coughing. Really? Eraserhead drawls. Backtrack, Izuku, backtrack. No, actually, nope, just you. Some people are starting to look concerned about Hitoshi's fake coughing fit. Izuku elbows him, which sobers him up. What do you mean, Izuku? Don't you have in-depth analysis pages on not only Eraserhead but also Midnight and Present Mike? Their gazes turn towards them after hearing their hero names. You are so lucky, I love you, Hitoshi. Izuku whispers under his breath. Hitoshi's grin only gets wider. Aw, are you three talking about us? Present Mike comes and drapes himself on Eraserhead. Hey Shota, who's the little listener? Ah, that means Eraserhead's full name is Aizawa Shota. He nods his head towards Izuku. This is Midoriya Izuku, Hitoshi's boyfriend. And apparently he has in-depth analysis of all three of us. I wouldn't say in-depth analysis is just a hobby of mine. They're not good or anything. Izuku stutters out, trying to clean up this mess of a situation. Hitoshi, ever the chaos catalyst, leans on Izuku and tells the group of pro heroes. He actually has 9 pages just on the Yamada-sensei. Izuku whips to his boyfriend. Hitoshi? Yes, Izu. He says, trying to play innocent. They don't need to know about... Ooh, about me. Do you have it on you, little listener? I would love to see what you think. Asks Present Mike. Izuku hesitates before pulling out a small notebook from his pocket. It's not the full version, just some thoughts, here. Izuku hands Present Mike the small notebook. His palms start to sweat while waiting for the blonde to finish reading. He hates showing people his analysis. He turns to Hitoshi. Hey, I'm gonna head to the bathroom. I'll be right back, okay? Hitoshi's grin fades. Yeah, sure. Do you know where it is? Yep, I'll be fine. See you in a bit. Izuku hurriedly states, before rushing off to the nearest exit. How hard can it be to find a bathroom? Very hard. It can be very hard. This school is like a maze, and all the hallways look the same. Izuku swears he's seen that same dead fly 3 times. Great. I can navigate the streets of Musatafu with ease, but I can't make sense of a school. Izuku mutters to himself. It appears you are lost. A voice cheerfully echoes out. Izuku screeches and jumps a foot into the air. When he turns, he sees UA's principal, Nezu. Hello, am I a dog, mouse, or a bear? You're a chimera, right? With an emphasis on the third. Nezu peers at him for a long moment, and Izuku immediately starts panicking. Wait, no, I'm sorry, I interrupted. What were you saying? I'm sorry, It's quite fine, Midoriya. As I was saying, I am the principal of UA. It has come to my attention, though, that you have become lost, which is easy to do without a guide. Izuku briefly wonders how Nezu knows his name, before shaking it off. Yeah, I just need to go to the bathroom. I should have probably taken Hitoshi with me. Izuku sheepishly responds, while scratching the back of his neck. Ah yes, that would have been a better idea. But not to worry, the restrooms are on the right and then the left from here. But, Midoriya, if I may steal one more moment of your time, Nezu chimes in. I couldn't help but look over some of the analysis given to Yamada, and I was wondering who you learned how to analyze from. It reminds me of someone else that I correspond with. Izuku blushes for the 100th time that night. I actually just told myself I've been doing it since I was Lisa. It's a fun hobby for me. Nezu rumbles out something resembling a hum. I see. Well, I was very impressed with your work. If you ever want the chance to further develop these skills, I would be happy to help aid you in this endeavor. He pulls a flashy card out of his vest pocket and presents it to Izuku. Message me if you have any questions. Goodbye then, Midoriya. I hope to speak with you soon. Then, Nezu walks away, as if nothing had happened. Midoriya couldn't help but think his closing statement sounded ominous. He stands there in the hall for a few minutes, just trying to process what just happened. Eventually, he turns to finally go to the bathroom. He finishes up, and as Izuku leaves the bathroom, he runs straight into a wall. An oddly human-shaped wall. He looks up to see his boyfriend standing before him. Hey Izu, you've been gone a while. I thought you might have gotten lost. Izuku wraps his arms around Hitoshi. I did. Then Principal Nezu found me. We chatted and I got directed to the bathroom. Hitoshi's eyes widen. Shoot, what did you two talk about? Izuku sighs. He liked my analysis, I think. He gave me his card. He takes the shiny card out of his pocket to show Hitoshi. Izuku, this is personal contact info. Damn, I knew you were brilliant. He smiles down at Izuku and kisses his cheek. Izuku blushes and hides his face in Hitoshi's shoulder. Hitoshi hums. Izuku can feel it through his chest. Hey, do you want to head out early? I'm getting tired of all the people. We can go back to my place and watch Ghibli if you want. Yes, please. Izuku nearly groans. They sneak out of UA together, giggling, with their hands shared between them. Later in the night, after prom ended and the students were safe and asleep in their dorms, Nezu contacts Aizawa. Good evening, Aizawa. I believe I know the identity of your kid. Vigilante. Nezu can hear she's rustling through the phone, as Aizawa shoots up. He only utters one word. Who? Nezu smiles. Midoriya Izuku. So this was Why Prom Sucks for a Vigilante by Meg_D_untalented. Read by Satoru Reed. Also, if you heard some voice or noise changes in the background of this video, I am very sorry for that. While editing, almost at the end, I found out that I am missing some of the audio for the fic and had to re-record more than a week later because I got sick in between. So I'm kind of sorry about that. But regardless, I hope you enjoyed.